fragrances that need to be taken and put back on the shelf, and some that need to be taken down and sprayed all over the haters until they get their heads out of their asses. Welcome to today's therapy session. My name is Kyle, aka Since Day One, and today we're going to be unpacking some issues I have with some fragrances. Specifically, fragrances that need to be taken and put back on the shelf, and some that need to be taken down and sprayed all over the haters until they get their heads out of their asses. Let's unpack. First, Overrated. Ex Nihilo Blue Talisman. Say what you want, but 6 months ago, nobody knew what this was. Pear and Embroxin for $355? Nah, especially when Maison Asrar Legacy, Tarathi Electric, and Lattafa Arley Universe exist. There is no reason to spend $355 on this. Next, Versace Eros Flame. Thank the Lord this is just a small bottle. To me, this is extremely redundant, especially if you already have the OG. Because while yes, it is a bit warmer, it's only in the initial spray. Any warmthness you're gonna get from this fragrance is gonna be gone after 15 minutes. And then you're stuck with this somewhat sweet, green, powdery mess. Stick with the OG. Everyone absolutely adored the OG when it came out, so much so that it became an NPC fragrance because literally everybody was wearing it. And to me, that's not a bad thing. If it smells so good that everybody feels like they need to have it, I want it, which is now what's happening to the #1 best-selling fragrance in the world, Sauvage. People loved it when it came out, and now everybody has it, so it's considered NPC. Nah, I ain't going for that NPC stuff. If it smells good to me, I'm grabbing it. And while yes, this doesn't smell bad, it's not a bad fragrance, it's just redundant to own this, especially if you already have the OG. Especially since they marketed this as a warmer version of Eros, this doesn't really hit the mark. I see what they were going for, cold and hot. You get the original coolness and the mint from the original, and you get a little bit of warmth from this. But like I said, it only lasts like 15 minutes, and then any warm notes you're gonna get from this are gone. If you want a different version of Eros, just get Eros Energy, a better version of Creed Aventus. And lastly, I don't even own this fragrance anymore because I disliked it so much. I've done a couple of videos on it before, but that fragrance is Stronger With You Intensely. Stronger With You Intensely is not, and I repeat, is not a gourmand fragrance. Have you ever wanted to eat suede? Because I haven't, and that's what kills this fragrance. It has a very weird, like, house built in the 1800s kitchen cabinet type of smell to it, and it is very off-putting to me. But what kills it the most for me is that there are just better flankers out there. Like Stronger With You absolutely. Takes away the suede and adds rum and chestnut. That's a real Christmas fragrance. Now let's talk about underrated fragrances. Let's start with Polo Blue Parfum. This one is a hidden gem in the Polo line. Everyone seems to stray away from the Polo line because they're not groundbreaking scents in any way. But there are a couple that really stand out, like Polo 67 and 67 EDP. And in my opinion, this one should get the same amount of recognition. So this is a mature and elegant take on the Polo Blue DNA. The OG Polo Blue was an iconic fragrance in the 2000s, but now it's a bit dated. The Parfum is a more modern take on Polo Blue. It strips away the sweetness and dials up the depth and richness with smooth aromatics and rich earthy base notes. The performance though is where this impressed me the most. 8+ hours on skin and you can smell this the next day on clothes. And we all know that is a huge step up for Polo. The reason I think this was so heavily overshadowed was because there were 2 other blue fragrances that were released around the same time. And those 2 fragrances were Dior Sauvage Parfum and Bleu de Chanel Parfum. That's just bad luck. Those are 2 of the best-selling blue fragrances in history. And this just happened to be released at the same time. Now, not everybody can afford a $100+ fragrance, me included, so I'm going to include a couple of Lattafas. I'm going to start with Lattafa Alkayam Silver. So for those of you who have seen this but maybe don't know a whole lot about it, this is an inspired by of Bulgari's Tiger. If you want to know more about this fragrance, FB Fragrances actually talks about this quite a bit. This is a very punchy, strong, lemony, citrus type of fragrance. Now, some people say this smells like a lemon pledge bathroom cleaner type of thing, but in my opinion, Tiger smells like bathroom cleaner to me as well. But even then, I don't think bathroom cleaner smells bad. I think it's a good thing. I think this smells fantastic. And the longevity on this is fucking nuclear. I've literally sprayed this on my hand and smelled it at the 18-hour mark. Dead ass. So if you like Bulgari's Tiger or something like Tarathi Blue, this will get you pretty close. And it's less than $30. Next, Alpine Homme Sport. So for those of you that have been following my channel for any amount of time, you will know I am a huge Maison Alhambra fan. In my opinion, they just get scent profiles down to a T. Now, they might lack in projection a little bit compared to a lot of other Arabic companies, but Maison Alhambra does it right when it comes to scent profiles. So for those of you that don't know, this is obviously inspired by Allure Homme Sport. So the reason I picked this is even Allure Homme Sport is extremely underrated. A lot of people go for Bleu de Chanel over Allure Homme Sport, but in my opinion, I actually like Allure Homme Sport a little bit better than Bleu de Chanel. Now, they both have their place, obviously, but for a spring or fall type of fragrance, this one is my choice. This one has like a fresh, icy green pine type of feel to it. So when you think of like evergreen trees and aspen, this is what comes to mind. So the best way I know how to describe this is like a mix between like a icy blue and green fragrance. So like teal. This is a teal fragrance. Extremely mass appealing, even more than BDC in my opinion. Now, BDC does it right. Don't get me wrong. They're a best-selling fragrance for a reason. But you're not going to find a lot of people wearing this, and that's pretty rare for a very mass-appealing fragrance. So if you haven't checked this one out, definitely give it a try. This is like 20 bucks. Maison Alhambra Alpine Homme Sport. And last but not least, Lattafa Jasur. If you want to smell like Valentino Coral Fantasy for like 25, 30 bucks, this is the one. Beautiful, bubblegummy apple with some tobacco. Again, another extremely versatile fragrance. Super mass appealing, can be worn any age range, any time of year. It has some fresh, sweet apple notes that would be good for like daytime. It could be good for nighttime clubbing. It's a great nighttime scent. Great winter scent in my opinion with the tobacco. So again, if you want to smell like Valentino's Coral Fantasy, this is damn near 1-to-1. So yeah, there it is. 3 overrated fragrances. And I know I said 3 underrated fragrances, but I gave you 4 since they went out.